welcome back to another serving of Penal-Tea Time. Now, we're filming this on Tuesday, but when you guys see it, it's going to be Ben White's birthday on Friday, so, you know, happy birthday, Ben White. Special Ben White, special episode for Ben White's birthday. We all love Ben, me and Damien love Ben White.
Yeah.
And Damien's got a special birthday message. Oh my god, I pointed to the right place then as well.
Yeah,
I'm well
I just
happy.
wanted to say happy birthday to our former fourth choice centre back. And thanks for the 50 million. I hope you have a great day.
Hence the new shirt as well. You know, just celebrate Ben White this episode.
You can't really say anything bad about Ben White, can you? I mean, when he came on loan from Brighton to Leeds, he helped us win promotion. He was 10 times better than anything that we had in that position. But when Brighton were asking 40-45 million for him, we were like, nah, you're not having his pants down like that. Just go sell him to Arsenal instead. 50.
Yeah, we're not Arsenal. I like that we can bully Arsenal today and Reese isn't here to defend them. We've got oh yeah, by the way, I should mention that. I'm doing great. We've not got Reese today. Reese is on holiday, but we have Gregg, who'll introduce himself now.
I'm Gregg. I'm a Chelsea fan, and I've been for a while. I'd say I'd rather have Varane than Ben White.
I'd rather have Thiago Silva than Ben White, I think.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather Thiago Silva. I'd rather Rudiger.
Rudiger's been great this season so far.
Best centre back in the Premier League.
Is that the fellow who had the face mask? I'm so bad with players' names.
Yeah, look like Batman.
The one who injured Kev in like the Champions League. Yeah, right. I know who we're talking about now.
Hero.
Yeah, that's the one.
Absolute hero.
Talking about Kev, he scored, didn't he, at the weekend?
See, I was messaging Damien about this.
Yeah,
we weren't sure because it did get deflected off 32 for Liverpool.
Joe Matip.
Joe Matip.
I don't tend to care enough about players' names, to be honest.
We recognise players.
According to Sky Sports, it was given.
Yeah, it went down as Kev, but if you notice, my dad was like, no, it's come off the Liverpool player, and I was like, shut the fuck up.
It's on target.
Phil Foden played very well in that game as well.
I'm glad he's got his first goal this season now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the first time I've ever seen joint man of the matches given.
Yeah, same. I found that weird.
Who got given man of the matches in that?
Salah.
Yeah.
Phil and Salah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Salah's just a different breed, though, isn't he?
I mean, as much as I'm not happy with their second goal because of the whole James Milner incident, it was a good goal. The man is pretty good. Like, I have to admit, Salah is a good player.
It was a lovely finish, wasn't it?
It was a good finish.
Yeah.
I'm very glad I had him as my captain.
James Milner, though, he's one of them players, isn't he? He has good days and he has bad days. Sometimes he can come on and turn a team around with his defending, but then when he's flying in with stupid challenges, he just
nearly breaking Bernardo Silva's neck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Bernardo Silva anyway. I think he should have left Manchester City when he had the chance during the last window. But he were holding out to go to Barcelona, wasn't he?
Yeah, apparently Barcelona might be buying Sterling in January.
If Sterling goes anywhere, I can't see him going abroad. I don't think he'll do it abroad.
Same.
I think he
doesn't do it here. Abroad.
I can see him going to somebody like Everton or one of them kind of teams.
Honestly, his shithousery, I would see him going to Everton just because he did used to play for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't need him.
He's a London boy. He's a London boy. He's got no affiliation to the Scouse teams. Like, look how he celebrates. Like, usually, if you move from one of your current team's biggest rivals, you don't often see him celebrating, do you? Like,
I mean, I am going to mention Ben White here. Damien was at the game, and like he told me after the game, Ben went and clapped like all the Brighton fans. And I like that, like, Mo Salah and all them from like Liverpool were like, yes, we could have won, but like at least we've got a point. And Ben just put like a simple statement out, like another clean sheet. I'm glad he wasn't gloating about being back at, like, the respect of not gloating about being back at his old club.
It's nice to see players remembering where they came from and where they were made. Whereas there's quite a few of the other ones that will quite happily gloat on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, and in the media to try and get I think they do it to get a rise out of the fans, don't they? Because it means more interaction for them through social media, and it makes them seem.
It gets some more followers.
Yeah, exactly. Calvin Phillips is the same. It doesn't matter if we win, lose or draw. He's always quite humble on Twitter and on Facebook, which is a good thing. But
I actually spoke to my dad about that whole Manchester transfer saga, right? I sat down, because I went home at the weekend. I sat down with my dad and I was like, right, what do you think of this? And oh my God, you should have heard the man. He was like, he's not got the disrespect to do that. And I was like, no, to be fair, he wouldn't.
I think we touched a little bit on that last week. I remember Reese mentioning it. We were talking about Alan Smith and stuff like that going, and how much the Leeds supporters hated Alan Smith for going to Manchester United without knowing the full backstory of the reason why he did it. But I can't see Calvin Phillips. If he does go, he won't go to Manchester United, Liverpool, City. Well, actually, I could see him going to City.
That's what my dad said. My dad said City or Chelsea you could see him at. Like a London team. Follow Ben to Arsenal.
Nah, he won't go to Arsenal.
No.
Does anyone want to go to Arsenal? Like,
No.
Welcome to the Ben White Football Show. This is because Reece isn't here. We're going to take the piss out of Arsenal all day.
because Reece isn't here, we can bully Arsenal and not get offended over it.
If you're watching this on Friday, hi Reece.
Hi Reece, we're bullying Arsenal because you're not here.
Dennis Bergkamp or just a shit man's growth.
But no, Arsenal players are doing well for call-ups, like Ramsdale, Saka and Smith Rowe all got a call-up. I'm quite impressed. Smith Rowe is in the under-21s. I mean, it's not as impressive as the senior team, but it's still an England call-up, so...
England call-ups have been funny. I don't, like, we've heard this news.
I mean, today's news that broke, so Ward-Prowse, Tammy Abraham and Chilwell have gone in because someone else and Calvin Phillips is out.
Now, Tammy Abraham has been, I don't know if you follow the Italian Serie A.
Banging them in.
He has been playing well.
For Roma. Unbelievable. So, yeah, he does deserve a call-up, probably more so than the likes of Danny Ings and people like that.
Like, I like Ben Chilwell, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Just in case the man's watching, I like Ben Chilwell, don't get me wrong. But he's not really done much, has he? Apart from play in the Euros, like the other Ben, he was a bench warmer.
Yeah.
He scored 1 goal in the Premier League.
Is he better than Marcus Alonso in that position, though? Yeah, he's a lot younger, maybe a little bit quicker, but the chances that Alonso creates on a weekly basis, why would you drop him? I wouldn't drop him. He's in my fantasy team anyway. Alonso is one of the first defenders in there at a cheap price, and because he chips in with the goals, he chips in with the assists. And as you say, Ben Chilwell's not really done too much to prove himself.
That's the one that confused me today when it got announced. Like, Ward-Prowse, hasn't he just been suspended as well?
Yeah,
for getting a red. Yeah.
I don't understand that. It's the same with Pascal Strauch when he got sent off and then popped up in on the 23s team. It was like, hang on a minute, is that allowed?
I was saying that to my dad and talking about fantasy teams as well, because, like, I have Dallas, Harrison and Bamford in my team from Leeds, like in my main fantasy team.
Blimey.
And my dad was like, you're buggered. And I'm like, I know half my players are out injured. I was like, it's fine, they'll be back after the international break.
It ruins Ward-Prowse's streak of starting. He's played 90 minutes in like the most games.
Yeah, every game for years, hasn't he?
He's played like every minute of every game for the last like 2 or 3 years, but that's ruined it now.
Talking about fantasy football before we move on, in the Penal-Tea Time draft league, I'm still winning.
I was gonna say I haven't had time to change my team for this last week.
You're currently third on 192 points. Reece is second on 199, and I'm at the top of the league with 268. We won't talk about Damien's measly 187 points.
I haven't really bothered with it.
You don't really need to. They just rack up points, don't they? I think they still rack them up when they're on bench. I'm not sure.
I'm just not happy with Ruben Diaz. The man cost me 2 points this week.
That's the thing. He seems to have this season. He doesn't seem to be playing as well as he has for the last couple of seasons.
I don't know if Ruben Diaz, now that he's got the captain's armband and he's a regular captain, whether the pressure's getting to him a little bit.
I don't know why he's been made captain though. I mean, I
So
know
how it works at City, the players, the coaches, the backroom staff, they all vote between themselves for 5 captains.
Oh, right.
It's actually the club themselves all choose it, like the staff, the players, everyone, they vote for who they want it
I
to
like
be.
that idea.
And everyone mocked Emery.
Idea. It is a good idea, that. I think it might have been the cup game, the Carabao Cup game, when Calvin Phillips was the captain. I'm sure that the same thing happened there when the players and the backroom staff voted who they wanted to captain on that day, and he got the pick, which is quite.
I think it's a good thing for teams to do. Like, they've got the respect that way.
I've got to defend. I know recently I've got to defend. Everyone mocked Unai Emery when he did it at Arsenal, though.
Well,
they got slaughtered for having 5 or 6 captains, yet we're sat here praising Pep Guardiola for doing the same thing.
I mean, I'll always praise Pep.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm not saying he's not a good manager. He's a great manager.
I actually have my scarf as well today. I'm just not wearing it because it's very warm in here.
A lot of managers from the 90s and the 2000s, they were quite set in their ways, like your Arsene Wenger's and your Alex Ferguson's, where they had the favourites.
Not gonna lie, we love you, Reese, but I'm glad you're not here to just praise Wenger every second.
Yeah. It's definitely the Arsene Wenger podcast when he's on.
I was thinking, going back to the Chilwell Alonso thing, I was there at the game Saturday, and he is breathing a massive sigh of relief he scored that goal at the end, because he was woeful. And I don't care if he's watching. He was woeful.
I don't care if he's watching. I'm like, I don't want to offend. I'll offend fans.
I don't want to offend.
No worries. I will offend any football fan, but when the players, I'm like, please don't get offended.
Ben, if you are watching, you are woeful.
Talking about that game, Timo Werner actually looked like the Timo Werner that they bought from Leipzig.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
He was exceptional.
It's taken him quite a long time to get going, but I think now that he's got that, well, he scored 2 goals, didn't he? Technically, one of them was just ruled out.
Oh, did he? I didn't watch the Chelsea match.
He scored before, and he celebrated like he just won FA Cup. But then it got ruled out.
It wasn't a foul either.
I think he's gonna kick on now, and I think it's because Lukaku were playing in that central role up front.
He's better as
a wide player.
Well, I think the way they played it Saturday was they played 2 up front. Like,
right.
Werner kind of drifted wide right when he needed to.
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi was in a little weird left winger, but Werner was playing up front with Lukaku. He's better.
That Hudson-Odoi. I think it looked last season and season before. It looked like he was going to be a world beater, and he's not getting the amount of opportunities that he should be getting.
I wish we'd taken the 70 million from Bayern.
Technically, I think Tammy Abraham were better than him. I know it were 2 different positions, but as English youngsters go, I think he's much better, and that's why we got a steal on that loan.
Everyone raved about Hudson-Odoi's first half. He did 1 nutmeg pass the bench all well, and then he put in the cross for the disallowed goal. Apart from that, he was shambolic.
I mean, I've been saying to Damien since summer, as in end of the Euros, I was like, Chelsea are going to be in the top 3. My top 3 is the current top 3. Chelsea, Liverpool, City. They're who I call to be top, the 3 in the title race at the end of the season.
I put a bet on before the season started at Chelsea winning the title.
I said, that's what I was saying. I said, Chelsea are going to be the ones that I thought. This was all before Ronaldo came.
Yeah.
Chelsea were the ones that I said were going to be City's biggest competition.
Yeah, we discussed it, didn't we, over the summer, and we both said the same top 3 realistically.
As much as I hate them, because Champions League final, but they were the better team. They were the better team that day. I'm not gonna lie, Chelsea were the better team in the Champions League final. But I said they are going to be one of the better teams now. Tuchel's really coming into his own.
He's quite a good manager, to be honest. I can't remember where he was previously. I know he was in
PSG.
Yeah.
PSG.
Yeah, he's made back-to-back Champions League finals.
Look what he's doing for them. I mean, yeah, they are a good team. They were good before he came, but the way that they've bonded, it seems to be they're playing a lot better. Chelsea's always had a lot of individual stars in the past, but now they seem to be becoming a star team, if you get what I'm saying.
I mentioned Rudiger, the resurgence of Rudiger, because there was talk this time last year, there was talk of him leaving in the January because Frank wasn't playing at all.
Yeah.
He was not getting a game under Frank. He was even making the bench sometimes. And he's now, I mean, I'd say, because I'm biased, I'd say he's the best centre back of the league because he drives forward and his ball playing abilities are unreal. He's easily top three.
Chelsea have got some of the best players in that league, no doubt. Lukaku's probably my favourite striker in that league. And he's been my favourite striker when he went into Milan. And even, I hate Man U, but at Man United, exactly the same.
We'll miss Rudiger next year when he leaves. I think he'll leave.
Really?
He'll sign up free. He's stalling over a new deal. I think it's rumoured it's either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich.
I could see him going to Munich.
That's the thing, though. Munich technically don't need him.
No, but if he's German, right, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of his career, could be looking at go home sort of thing.
Yeah, possibly.
I think he wants one more big move. Become a Galactico.
Could do.
I mean, speaking of Bayern, they finally lost this last weekend. So, that's me happy as a Dortmund fan.
Well, I was actually having some help from my little English American girlfriend over in Maine to pick a shirt today. And I was going through and I was like, right, there's this one. Oh, there's a Bayern Munich shirt there. I don't want that. And threw that to the side. I'm not wearing that. I still have flashbacks from watching highlights of that 1975 European Cup final when we got cheated. So, yeah, I don't know why I've got that shirt.
I mean, Gregg just mentioned the resurgence of Rudiger there. I mean, Sarah will know because we've spoken about it. Duffy has done very similar at Brighton, hasn't he? He's really come on.
Yes. My brain was like, which one is he?
He's in my fantasy team. Absolute baller. I didn't back Sanchez and Duffy this week, just in case Arsenal did score. But Duffy, I wish I had now.
Yeah, I left Edison in my team instead of Sanchez, and I'm not too happy.
I put Ben Foster in because I love the cycling GK.
We all do. We were literally talking about him last week.
Yeah, we were. His new video series that he's doing on Facebook or whatever. It's quite good. I do enjoy that.
Sarah said we all love him. I do not.
Well, Damien doesn't, but we appreciate
How
him.
can you not love him?
He tipped us for relegation when we're going to the Champions
Right.
League.
You tipped yourself for relegation, Damien, as well.
Mate, anyone with a brain would have tipped you for relegation.
Exactly.
Well, Leeds have got
Yes, I tipped us for relegation. I said to Sarah we'd be lucky to stay in this division.
That's tipping yourself for relegation.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'll hold my hands up. Yes, I did say that.
When Graham Potter first came in, you wanted on the bounce, you were messaging me going, we're off to Europe, and I was going, mate, give it
He
6
still
months.
messages me saying we're off to Europe.
Yeah, he's got reason to now, but when he first came in, it was like...
This is going back, Sarah, to when we first appointed Potter. We won his first game 3-0, and I actually sent Gregg a voice note singing, woke up this morning feeling fine, I've got Potter on my mind.
If you're waking up with Graham Potter on your mind in the morning, I'd be a bit concerned.
who do you see finishing in them European spots? Not obviously the Champions League spots, but like the Europa Conference League and such. Because West Ham did it last season out of the blue. They would have
Honestly, I tipped West Ham to do it again.
Yeah, West Ham did it again, I think.
Or possibly one of the other sides that are sort of not one of the elite could possibly break it.
Honestly, Brentford are a shock at the
Arsenal,
minute.
for example.
Brentford are playing really.
I mean,
Brentford are doing what you did last year, Leeds.
Yeah.
Leeds did well last year, but I think we've only just won his first game this past weekend against Watford. We're having
second season syndrome.
Yeah, Sheffield United had it, didn't they? They finished round about the same position as we did last season in their first season back, and then finish rock bottom. I think now we've got that window. We're gonna push on. We've had
Brentford are doing what you did last season. It's been Sheffield United, Leeds, and I think it'll be Brentford this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've only just got out of relegation zone. I know 6 games in or whatever, but it took us a long.
Arsenal haven't been long out of it though.
Arsenal will be back in it by end of the season.
They're top 10. They are top 10 now, technically.
Yeah, we're top 6, just say.
No, Arsenal are 11.
Oh, they're not.
Arsenal are 11.
They dropped down again now.
Yes. The top 10 are Villa, West Ham, Tottenham, Brentford, Brighton, Everton, United, City, Liverpool,
I
Chelsea.
could see. Oh, it's weird. Weird. I'd see Villa if they get a bit of consistency going, and arguably if Palace. I know Damien's gonna hate me for this. If Palace sort out their defensive in moments of it, the way they played against Leicester at the weekend was their high press was sensational.
Honestly, I'll get a slap for this as well. But like Vieira's doing good stuff for them.
The transfers that they've made this past window, it seems to have set them in a different light to the other teams that are around about that have been their level over the past few seasons. So like you've got Edouard who's come in, I think hit the crossbar about 3 or 4 times this past weekend. But
exactly as Arron just said there, can we give me a little bit of credit? I praised Edouard the other week.
Yeah, you did.
And said I thought he was an exceptional player that could do good things.
It seemed a bit of a transfer to me going to Crystal Palace from winning title after title at Celtic. Obviously not last season.
He got out when he got out. The stock was plummeting. He was like, I am out of here.
Well, I think if you've seen Scottish League, I don't even think Rangers or Celtic are anywhere near the top. I think Celtic are like 5th or 6th.
The biggest shock this week in the Premier League, Norwich finally have a point.
Yeah, the one time I put Brandon Williams in and he doesn't play, they get a clean sheet. Love it.
They finally have a point.
Well, it's because they're not playing. If you look at their first 5 games, they played what? Liverpool, City. Who else? They played like 5 of the Arsenal, like 5. You'd say 5 of the arguably historical top 6.
To be fair, you could also say that for us though as well, because we've not really. That sounds so bad. Liverpool have been like our first, apart from Chelsea, have been our first like big challenge.
Well, your last 3 games have been us away, PSG away, Liverpool away.
Yeah, this week has been the death of like City, pretty much.
And you come out of it with what, 4 points in the league, so.
Yeah.
Coming up to this weekend and then next week's games, I'm not looking forward to it because I only tend to enjoy the international football when it's the World Cup or the Euros.
It's a major tournament, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying that I am going to Wembley.
Oh, nice.
Just to tick it off and say I've done. This is the first game I've been to.
I was thinking of that, but then I was like, it's Hungary, and like.
Yeah, Hungary were nearly provided the shock of the Euros before getting out of the group of death.
They played really well.
I can't praise Hungary.
Them away, so.
It's more off the pitch stuff for me.
Yeah. I'm not praising them off the pitch.
I can't praise them.
Off the pitch, they're monsters. On the pitch, they were very good at.
Yeah, that was the reason we're not going though. Is because of the off the pitch stuff. We did actually look at. Should we go?
Yeah, we were like, we want to go to an England game at Wembley, but then the next home game was Hungary, and I was like,
no, we ain't doing that.
I was like, I don't want to be around Hungarian fans.
The country is nice though. You do get a lot of like stag do's and stuff that tend to go to Hungary, stuff like Budapest and whatnot. But as you say, the fans are just vile people.
It's like them the other night with one of the I don't want to offend them by calling them the wrong.
Slavia Prague.
There we go. I was like, I don't want to offend them by calling them the wrong team. The one that was full of school kids.
They had a stadium ban, but they allowed all the school kids like under 14.
And the 14-year-olds were still booing and being racist.
And he got sent off, which was quite not good for him.
Terrible behaviour, especially from kids.
Oh, 100%. But you learn that behaviours from your parents. Like, I'm going to be honest here. My dad was at home wearing his Leeds shirt, and a small child came up to him and spat at him.
Wow.
I'll give you one guess what team it was.
Man United, probably.
Yeah. And his dad was like, nah, there's no problem with it because of scum like you. And some woman started to have a go at the fella, telling him to take care of his child.
That's terrible. I actually remember when I used to work for Haven, as Sarah knows, years ago. I used to be a fun star, and I was sat, we had like an evening where wear your team's shirt, but whilst I was still working, I had my Leeds shirt. And I was sat down, cross-legged, watching, I think it may have been like a magician act with all the kids, and a little Scouser, a little Liverpool kid, ran over to me and started repeatedly booting me in the knackers. And like trying to spit at me and calling me all these names, and I was like, as much as I want to punch you square in the face at this moment in time, I literally can't do a thing. I can't force you to stop. And I was looking around like, where's this kid's parents? Are you going to tell him to stop? Then he saw it and he came over to his dad and he was just laughing. He's all right. Like, no, he's not. It's just because I'm a Leeds fan. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Mind you saying that about the behaviour Sarah knows. I literally went into the Sainsbury's next to Crystal Palace to use a toilet, and I basically got sworn at for going to the toilet.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but hang on. Then tell them the story about what you were doing to the Palace fan on the way back. Come on, balance it out. Come on, balance it out.
A couple of days later.
Still, come on, balance it out.
Fine, I will tell the story. I had Spotify connected to the radio in my car. I saw a bloke in a Palace shirt, so I played Bounce by Calvin Harris.
Balanced argument here, Damien. Come on.
Ridiculous.
But no, the weekend was quite entertaining, I thought, from what I did watch. Because I was at home and not at my flat, my mum got annoyed with. My mum's not the biggest fan of me watching football all day on a Saturday.
Didn't you have to tell her which teams to cheer for during the Euros?
Yes, we did. And my mum during the Euros, so I'm sat there watching the England squad and any other squad, and my mum just goes to every player. Does he play for City? No, he doesn't. Does he play for City? No. And she went, that's John Stones. He plays for City. And I was like,
no, it's Jack.
Finally.
No, it's Jack Grealish. It's not.
I was like, finally. And she knows who Jack Grealish is as well.
This past weekend were a big shock in the Man United game. I think Everton have been really good so far with that Andros Townsend and Demarai Gray signing.
Demarai Gray and Andros Townsend for a combined 1
Oh, 100%. They were like
unbelievable.
Everton are like one of the most surprising teams this season.
Ultimate shithousery of the week when Townsend scored and did the Ronaldo celebration.
Apparently, it was a sign of respect. He just didn't do it justice. Apparently.
No, he definitely did that to piss the Man United fans off. But apparently Sarah did say before we started filming that he did walk away with Ronaldo's shirt.
Yeah, he put on Twitter or Instagram.
Ronaldo were happy with him in the walking off the pitch. He was very, very angry with him. The big difference with Everton this season.
Ronaldo's got shin pads with his own fucking face on.
I saw that.
To be fair, I can't say much because I'm pretty sure Edison does as well. But like... Oh, speaking of Edison, more bizarreness of the week. So the man, I sent this to Damien, the man's Instagram post. I will get it up and what he blamed for a bad game.
It's a tummy ache.
It's tummy ache. So I will read the Instagram post when I find it.
Was this referring to the Liverpool game on the PSG?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
Liverpool.
you see the ball he played to Phil Foden over the back of Liverpool's defence?
That was a lovely ball.
But yeah, no, he
it's the
blamed
best pass.
tummy
Gary Neville said it's the best pass I've seen by a keeper. Oh, it's just pinpoint.
Yeah, he said we didn't have a good game today. I had a tummy ache, and I'm like,
oh,
Diddums, do you want some Gaviscon? Do you want some Imodium, love?
Yeah.
I think the big difference with Everton this season apparently is under Carlo Ancelotti. He literally in training is apparently his son would do tactics. He'd go out there and just play. Like hence why James liked it, because he just went play. Didn't make him do like any of the fitness work or like really train them hard. Whereas Rafa's come in, Rafa's started hitting them with the fitness training, properly hitting it with tactics, like making them work hard. And James has gone, nah, I've got the work rate. I'm off to Qatar now for the payday.
I feel sorry for James Rodriguez because he came with all that hype, didn't he, from did he come from Real Madrid?
Yeah.
After the World Cup and everything, when he scored all them goals, and they were like,
he scored that one world year, that was it, his career. Like,
yeah, he came with all this hype and everything, and the management system just never gave him the right opportunities in the Everton team. Whereas I feel like had Rafa given him the right opportunities and played him in the right positions, he'd have been back to how he used to play. But as you say, money talks. If you're not playing, you're going to go somewhere where you can get a big payday. It's nice and warm, and you can play.
Then again, if Rafa comes in and says, "I want you to work hard," and he goes, "Mate, I'm not doing this." Why are you going to play him?
Exactly.
If he goes,
I'd do the same thing. No, I'd go to Qatar or somewhere like that if I want playing, and they offered me God knows how much. amount of money per
On
week.
his day, James is unbelievable, but he just got in. He had a lack of fitness because he hadn't played for Real Madrid for ages.
No.
So he got injured and he didn't want to work hard. So he's got natural ability in abundance, but
he seems to be one of them players that just enjoys looking pretty as well.
Yeah.
It's all about the hair.
A waste of talent, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's quite a lot of them players out there that would rather just get by playing semi-decent football or sitting on the bench taking a paycheck.
I mean, we had one a few years back. You might remember him, Arron. Leon Knight.
Yeah, Leon Knight, I do.
Very good young player at the time, had loads of talent, but just he didn't seem to want to put the work rate in. As a kid, he just seemed like lazy when I was watching him.
I think it all depends on your manager as well, doesn't it? Like we were just saying then about Rafa coming in and doing all the fitness training and everything. If you've not got a manager that's willing to put that kind of training on the ready for the pitch, things aren't going to transpire the way they're meant to do. You need the fitness training, like Bielsa does it. We do the murder ball things, and the fitness levels of the Leeds players since he came in has shot right up, which is a good thing because I think we've got the highest mileage of running per game of anybody in the Premier League, and that's just because of the murder ball sessions and stuff.
There's loads in it. You say Adel Tarat, Ravel Morrison. Right, yeah. You ask Harry Redknapp and then any player at Spurs at the time, he naturally on the ball, he was doing things that they hadn't seen. He was unreal.
Spurs were a very good team under Harry Redknapp.
Modric, Bale,
Defoe, Crouch, Darren Bent, he was a good player, and then he just seemed to drift off into nowhere, didn't he? I think the last time I remember him playing were at Fulham.
Right, the last time I remember him was when he scored off the beach ball.
Against Liverpool.
Oh, at Sunderland, yeah.
So,
I mean, Spurs have been going downhill since Harry Redknapp left, let's be honest.
No, they were decent. They made a Champions League final under Poch, so you'd argue. I mean, Ajax did not knock a lot of the good teams out. But
I just feel like somebody has to hate on Tottenham with Reece not being here.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm sure.
Offer that to the group, yeah.
Someone needs to take just. It's not. We normally by now we have shithousery against Tottenham, and it feels weird.
It's weird. I'm a Chelsea fan I'm surrounded by my good mate who's a Spurs fan. My uncle's a Spurs fan, so I kind of hate Arsenal more than I do Spurs. And especially when Mourinho went there, I do like Mourinho a bit of, and I think he got sacked way before. They wanted somebody else in. They've got Nuno. They won 3 games, thought they were going to win the league, and now they're getting back. They lost 3 games back to back, 3-0.
I can see given 1 or 2 more transfer windows, Nuno's going to end up turning Tottenham into a little Wolves team again with all the Portuguese players coming in, because he does have quite an affection for Portuguese players, don't he?
I think that was Wolves as well, because Wolves have carried it on with new Portuguese manager. They just traded 1 Portuguese goalkeeper and another one. It was weird that Nuno decided to, when he got to Spurs, ditch the 5-back formation that had made him really good at Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone to a 4-back that worked for 2 games and then it's not really worked.
I find it strange though, because Matt Doherty for Wolves under Nuno, I thought were brilliant at that right wing-back spot, pelting it up and down the wing and chipping in with the goals and assists.
He was very good.
He's not getting a lot of game time at Tottenham. Which to me is strange. I think they're playing, is it Emerson Royal or somebody that you?
And even he's awful.
Oh, they are. To be honest with you, the full Tottenham team's awful. Harry Kane especially.
He plays too much.
Premier League stars that might be watching.
He plays too much at centre mid for Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about offending Tottenham, to be honest.
No, nobody.
Reece will be very proud.
I'm not fussed about any of their players.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So what's this vaccine controversy that's going on then? It's some bonus.
I've been having it's weird. So Klopp's encouraging everyone to get vaccinated. Vaccinated, that's the word. And I don't know where I saw it. I'm pretty sure I sent it to Damien. That apparently the Premier League, right? I didn't just dream it then. The Premier League club with the most vaccinated players is going to get a bonus.
Technically, say what bonus or give any details, but
no, there's no more details I've heard other than that.
Should they not all be vaccinated because they're playing close contact sport?
They should be.
Personal preference, apparently.
Yeah. It comes under personal preference, doesn't it? Whereas in America, they're making you.
They're making you, yeah.
And you get fined. That depends in which part of America you're in, but in New York, you get fined a very small portion of your salary for every.
I wonder who's gonna get this bonus, and I wonder exactly who the team is that's.
I know Liverpool have quite a lot. And Liverpool have a lot at the minute because Klopp's really on it, because he's like, even if you don't get the vaccine for yourself, get it to protect other people.
I have seen a lot of Leeds players, because they do post a lot on Instagram and stuff, where they've been where they post pictures getting vaccinated. So they
Newcastle, because their goalkeeper was quite ill with it.
Yeah.
Got to be good for something. They've got to be good for something at the moment, Newcastle.
Yeah.
At least they might win something this year.
Yeah. They're hoping the bonus is 60 points. Or get to the 40-point mark at least.
I wonder if Watford have had enough, because they're already in a crisis. So they're not, losing out on a bonus isn't going to do them much good, is it?
No, they'll get the bonus. They're going to have so many managers. They just need to get them all vaccinated. They'll get the bonus.
Yeah, they need the money from the bonus to pay for new managers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
it's
glad
like a rolling tally that everyone who comes in and out of the club adds to it.
I'm glad that we beat them 1-0 this weekend, but I think they had a goal disallowed as well, if I remember rightly.
My dad was saying something about, because he watched it on Match of the Day and then a replay, how both of you should have had a penalty or something.
Yeah, Dan James got bundled over in box and it was just waved away. VAR didn't even have a look at it, which I think there's quite a lot of bias towards.
Right, so what I've heard I don't know who it was, someone on the City game was saying that apparently VAR can't intervene with possible yellow cards anymore.
No, it can't.
Yeah, the commentator said it. You're not allowed to intervene.
Right, I'm not dreaming it. I'm not just like, I swear I've spent most of the
it can't. It can only intervene on penalties, offsides, red cards.
Mistaken identity.
Yeah, mistaken identity.
That was a problem last season as well. People getting yellow cards and stuff. Not in necessarily the Premier League, but in other leagues.
Even though it would have, the second yellow would have resulted in a red. It can't intervene because it's not a red, unless it was deemed to be a serious foul play, and it would be a red card on its own.
That's like with the Milner thing, but then I don't understand. Silva got a yellow card.
But didn't James Ward-Prowse get a yellow card and it got looked at and then?
So again, I mean, we weren't very happy with. He redeemed himself slightly for sending off James Ward-Prowse, but we weren't very happy with Martin Atkinson to begin with. For the disallowed goal in the first half. But yes, he originally got a yellow card and then it went to VAR. Mike Dean said you'd have a look. He came over to the screen, had a look, and then what you think is, once it's gone to the screen, the VAR says like, you might want to have a look at this. So you probably know he's going to send him off.
It's very rare that there's a mix-up.
It's very rare for the referee to go over and go, actually, no, I'm going to stick with my decision.
Yeah.
I think the only one that did that was actually Graham Scott in the Arsenal-Brighton game was it last season?
Yeah.
Or season before?
And
he went over, but then come back and said, no, I'm sticking with what I said.
Yeah.
Talking of Arsenal-Brighton, poor fellow that lost another tooth.
Gabriel.
Oh, yeah.
His teeth are all...
I mean, it's not like he's not got the money to fix them, so
He has fixed them and they look horrible.
Well,
I'm slagging off every footballer today.
As I said, talking about Gabriel, Arteta's come out and said, apparently, why him and Ben White haven't been playing together or playing well together is there's been a language barrier.
Oh yeah, you've seen it.
That's weird because everyone's been praising them as a duo since they started playing together.
I'll see if I can get it up on Instagram and get the quote from Arteta. But apparently, it's something about Ben wasn't in pre-season obviously because of the Euros and then his holiday. And then when he got there, there was a problem with communication. So Ben's just stood there really confused about is he Portuguese? I don't like offending people. Brazilian.
You look at it, he's Brazilian.
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
But he's Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brazilian Portuguese is what he speaks. And I know that language is like pretty tough. So no wonder the poor fella like had communication issues with Ben White, let's be honest. I can just imagine them both stood there in like the dress changing room, just stood there looking at each other, trying to have a conversation, both stood there confused.
Like a little lost boy in Asda or something
Yeah.
like that. Oh, God.
When you look at it, since they started, I don't know what Arteta's on about. Since they started playing together as a partnership, they conceded 1 goal in the last 4 games. And
Yeah.
that was to Spurs.
They've
So
started,
I've got a translator in.
I don't know what.
they've started pushing on a little bit now. haven't
Arsenal are paying for Duolingo Plus for them both.
they?
Well, in fact, I think Gabriel had been injured, didn't he? And then Ben White had, obviously, with getting up to match fitness. But they hadn't actually played together. Like, Ben White had played the opening couple of games, but he hadn't actually played with Gabriel because Gabriel had been injured. So since they've actually started playing as a partnership, I mean, I know they played Norwich. And
They've never really had a great centre-back pairing, have they? Even like when David Luiz were there and stuff, they've not really had a great centre-back pairing since like Tony Adams. And
I was going to say Tony Adams, Sol Campbell would have been a lot.
Martin Keown, he were okay, I suppose, but I just don't like his face. So very ugly guy.
Again, if you're listening, Martin.
Actually, talking about things, I did actually catch the women's match of the day this past week. I didn't even know it was a thing.
I didn't know women had their own match of a day.
I didn't know they had their own match.
Yeah, I caught Brighton versus
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
I watched the West Ham City game and just got really sad, so kind of stopped watching.
To be honest, I thought it was it's the first time I've actually sat and watched anything in detail about the Women's Super League. I thought, bloody hell, it's quite good, actually. I mean, I know Sarah and Damien can keep up with it.
Yeah, our team just had a shocker of a week this week. One of a last-minute goal by West Ham, 2-0. We lost to 2-0 to West Ham.
I know that Leeds won.
They've not beaten us in the last 5 times. We've beaten them or drawn, I think, the last 5 times. It's taken them 6 attempts to beat us.
Ooh.
But going back to our centre-back pairings, best pairing in the league, in my opinion, Laporte and Diaz.
Laporte is absolutely brilliant.
No, I'm saying Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta, I'm really good.
Well, I'm not going to say Liam Cooper in anybody because Liam Cooper's absolutely dog.
Can we have a shout for Duncan Duffy here?
I mean, they do play well together.
They are a very good pairing.
Yeah.
Really good. Connor Cody's all right as well. I'm not sure who his centre-back partner is now. But has he been named in England squad?
Yeah, he's in the England squad.
Because we haven't got any other fit centre-backs.
I'm just concerned about John Stones getting injured again, to be honest.
I find it hilarious that Reece James got called up even though he's injured.
Right, I got so confused because then it came across Sky, the bottom of like the Sky banner that comes across saying
That's why Chilwell got called up.
Tuchel's not letting him go.
Why? Tuchel said in a conference, I looked at it and thought it must be a mistake because he thought it must be for the England water polo team because he's training in the pool at the moment. He hasn't played a game for us in ages.
Good player though.
Mm-hmm.
On his day, very good.
I think his last game was a Champions League game against Zenit.
Talking about players that haven't played for a long time but have started to actually come on and play well, Ross Barkley.
Honestly, he came on 80th minute and we were going, what? Have you lost the plot, Tuchel? You've got Havertz on the bench, you've got Ziyech, I think was on the bench, you've got all these players. Brings on Ross Barkley. The ping he played to Azpilicueta for the second goal. Unreal.
It was a great
ball.
Unbelievable ball. I wonder if he keeps getting more and more appearances under Tuchel and does he push back into England squad?
One person I wouldn't be surprised is Loftus-Cheek.
He's started playing really well.
I went to the last week. He came on it. He started against Villa in the cup. I think he started against Villa in the cup, and he was sensational. I really took the ball forward. It was he's a really big, strong, tall presence in the midfield. He came on against City and did the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he started at the weekend, and he was excellent. absolutely excellent. If he carries this on, I mean, he's fighting for. Kante's injured. He's got Kante. He's brilliant, but he's got no hamstrings. Kovacic, Jorginho, Saul, who, if we're going to give Loftus-Cheek more game time, just looks like a weird signing.
Mm-hmm. Saul's a good player though. When he was at Atletico Madrid, I think it was more the partnership of him and Koke though in midfield that made that.
Oh, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but we've just got so much competition for. I can see us.
That's the thing though. It's a good thing to have that much competition in your team for certain things. I mean, going back to Leeds again, as I always do, we've got no competition in any position whatsoever. If one player gets injured, we're absolutely knackered. We're playing centre mids at centre back. We're playing right backs at spin striker. It's like, what we're doing? We haven't got the squad depth, but like Chelsea, their squad depth is so good.
Is Pulisic back for Chelsea yet?
No, he's still injured.
I like that. I know about 5 players from teams.
I wouldn't be surprised if we moved on from Kante in the summer.
It could go to Real Madrid.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's when he's seriously match fit. He's obviously like arguably the best CDM in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's getting too injured now. His hamstrings are going very, very.
And the
often.
poor fucker's got COVID at the minute.
Has he?
Yeah.
Is he? I thought
N'Golo Kante's got COVID.
I thought it was his hamstrings. His hamstrings go very often.
Well, for once, it's not that, and the fella's got COVID.
Because what was that headline, Sarah?
Oh, I can't remember it, but a newspaper which shall not be named had a very witty headline about it.
Was it N'Golo Kante or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it now because I said
he doesn't score anywhere.
He has been one of your best players since you signed him, though. I mean, he had that great couple of seasons at Leicester when they won the league, and then he moved to Chelsea, won the league again. Won what did he win? He won World Cup. He's arguably the best centre defensive midfielder in the world on his day.
Without a doubt.
If you say we'd move on from him, who would you bring in then?
See,
Renato.
If Loftus-Cheek carries on playing that, I don't think we need to bring anyone in.
What about depth and cover though?
What do you mean? I've just named. We've got Saul who we can make permanent. We've got Kovacic, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek. Arguably, Barkley can drop in the midfield. Mount can play midfield.
What about Danny Drinkwater? Where did he disappear to?
Reading on loan.
Right, I'm going to say because everybody were raving about him when he came in, and he literally
paid 35 million for the bloke.
He disappeared. They were like absolutely dog.
We paid 35 million pounds for the bloke. I think.
I found the headline. No going N'Golo.
Literally the worst paper in the world as well.
They are, but they do, like, whenever I send screenshots to Damien, I could literally cut the paper name out because we don't want to be associated with them.
We colour it in or something, don't we?
But you can easily identify who the paper is.
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't like that paper. We don't like said paper. And I don't care about pissing them off.
If you're watching, we don't like you.
Yep, sue us if you want to.
So if you want to sponsor the...
Please don't sponsor us.
Welcome to the podcast sponsored by...
Cut that bit out.
Yep. Oh.
I just put a massive beep over this. Just put a massive beep over this.
Oh, I don't know. Barcelona, anyway. What's been happening with these guys?
A lot.
This is something we've had conversations about, isn't it?
A lot. I mean, what isn't wrong with Barcelona at the minute? Let's be honest.
You've got, arguably, obviously, they've lost the greatest player that they've ever had.
I mean, currently,
Messi
and Ronaldo have a joint record on League One: no assists, no goals.
Hey? Oh, wait, hang on.
He's not scored or an assist in the La Liga one.
Oh, in League One. I thought you meant like.
Right.
Ronaldo has scored like 4 goals this season. What are you going on about?
No, in like the French league, they've both got the same record of no goals and no assists. So. Just a fun fact for you.
Am I not wrong in thinking that Messi did score?
He scored against
in the Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League. It's not in the.
Yeah.
He did. He ruined. Lionel Messi ruined my day.
I think I sent you want to strike that night as well. I felt terrible.
He's one of the two greatest players ever that we'll ever see.
I love him as a player, but the second he made that score, I was just like.
As soon as he left Barcelona, I mean, Barcelona, they were stupid enough treating Luis Suarez like shit and letting him go. Then they've just sold Antoine Griezmann back to Atletico Madrid.
They made like a £90 million loss on him.
Yeah, because they're broke, aren't they?
But they've still got a good team. But now they seem to be, obviously, the majority of their team over the last 6 or 7 years, they've all been old. Because you obviously had Iniesta coming towards the end of his career. You had Xavi. You've got Sergio Busquets that's got legs made of jelly. You've got Gerard Piqué that's getting on now. They seem to be playing more and more.
Care about the payday.
They're relying more on the younger players like your Ansu Fati's. I think their best player at the minute is Pedri. He played every game last season for him, and then he played every game in the Euros, and then he played every game at the Olympics, and now he's played every game again so far this season for Barca. I don't know where he gets his energy from because I couldn't.
The discussion that I had with Sarah, I reckon they've let the transition go too long. Like they haven't done it gradually.
Yeah.
And now they're left with all these aging high earners, and it's a bit like, what do we do now? This basically.
If they managed to pick out Busquets, I think they did say, "You want us to take a pay cut? How much? We'll do it." Like they actually love the club so much. They were like, "No, you take our money. We're just here for the love of the club."
In fairness to them, yeah. But there's also.
But you'd have thought that's what Messi had done. You'd have thought that's what Messi had done. If he loved the club that much, he'd have. I mean, well, he said he would take a pay cut, didn't he?
He said he would. They were saying he wouldn't. There was a lot of.
Yeah, back and forth.
Speaking of Suarez, did anyone see Suarez's celebration?
Yeah, the
phone.
Yeah,
they fired him over the phone, and he was like,
"Yeah, he's a good player. He was brilliant at Liverpool, and he were arguably one of the best players that Barcelona had as well for the time he were there. But since he's moved to Atletico, he's picking on.
Messi, Suarez, Neymar is arguably the greatest front three.
Yeah, definitely. Although Ronaldo, Benzema, and Bale. Well,
Benzema's coming to his own since the last season. Last season of it. He's been
playing well this season as well, hasn't he? Really good.
It's some Saudi business has offered to loan Barca the entire $1.6 billion. They need £1 billion to get out of debt.
And it's like, yeah, we'll loan you this money, but. There's always a but.
Yeah, they'll probably get some shares or something in it, but arguably they've been given favourable terms that they wouldn't have to start paying it back till next Christmas or something.
Will they have the money then?
Saudi business owners have got the money in the bank waiting to do whatever they want, aren't they? So yeah, they'll be able to do it straight away.
No, I meant Barcelona. Will they even have that money to pay back next Christmas?
Well,
can we pay you? £5 a week? Will that be enough?
Get the bailiffs to go around.
Right? European trophy. Right, that's coming with us.
They've got enough of them.
Well, yeah. Sell that on eBay, something like that.
Sell them for scrap.
Yeah.
Sell them to City. They need them enough.
Yeah, we'll buy a Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
You bought everything else.
Tottenham will be on phone oh yeah, you know that European Super League trophy you've got. Can we buy that?
They'll take a Copa del Rey. Just please get a trophy in place.
I don't know. Give it a few years. I think they'll be fighting for League One trophy. Touch wood. We don't like them.
I like that it's a communal. We don't like them.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't.
I would say I don't care about London teams, but I care about the players on London teams.
I think it's more the fact of you care for the England players within them teams.
Well, kind of for me.
Ben White.
Two of my favourite players in London are Havertz and Pulisic.
Fair enough.
Havertz is class though.
I do love Havertz.
He started to play really well last season. I thought after they bought him that it'd be a bit of a tough. Sometimes you see people coming from Bundesliga or La Liga or whatever, and they don't settle in straight away. And he came over and settled in straight away with the Chelsea team. But I think
Tammy Abraham's hit the ground running in Serie A as well.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, he's banging goals in left, right, and centre. He's finally found a place where I think the fans love him, and he's got the guys around him that are going to help him further his career. But I think he's on.
I'd argue the other way around. I'd say Havertz didn't hit the ground running. He then got COVID in October, November last year.
Well, yeah.
And then he really suffered. He really suffered with that for a good 4 or 5 weeks.
I think scoring that goal in Champions League final.
That was it. That was the moment.
A little bit.
Do you know how sad it is when a player you appreciate scores a goal against your team in a major final?
Oh yeah. Well.
I'm just sat there like, oh, I'm happy for you, but no, go away.
It's like Ben. I watched Ben come through the academy at Brighton, and the whole of Saturday I was saying, Sarah, please don't let him score today. Please don't let him score today.
I messaged you. I was like, right, he has a good game when I watch, but my bus is late home, so I'm missing like the first 5 minutes. I am sorry if he breaks a leg in the opening 5 minutes of the game.
I'd have just not bothered watching it. I'm like, well, no, I don't want to see that.
But no, I tend to watch like at least 2 Premier League games on a Saturday, 1 on a Sunday, and 2 Bundesliga games of a weekend. That's what I try to do anyways.
You normally provide me with the Bundesliga, don't you?
I do, although Costa's Wi-Fi does not let you stream.
Erling Haaland's been playing unbelievable.
Who a fella's injured at the minute. He can't even play with Norway.
Really?
He's not played with Dortmund for the last 2 weeks, and he can't even go with the Norway team.
He's still scored 65 goals in 65 games.
He's has a
younger cousin.
It did say muscle injury.
But they've still got Daniel Marlon. They've got Daniel Marlon that they bought from, I want to say, somebody, PSV.
It sounds bad, but they did struggle a little without him. I don't know how they did in this weekend's game, because obviously I couldn't watch it.
I think they're turning fortunes round with the fact that they're bringing in more and more young players. Bellingham won. Whereas beforehand, they were relying on the likes of Emre Can and or the old Turkish guy that was been there for like 27 years or something. That's the one. And then Axel Witsel. I thought that he were a lot older than he actually is. He's only like 26, 27.
Oh, no, he is 30. He is 30, 31.
Is he? I thought he were quite old, but I'm sure that when I was watching the Borussia Dortmund thing on Amazon, and it was filmed about 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
He's 32.
Is he 32? That's probably why.
Speaking of Haaland, transfer rumours just come up.
Yeah.
Man City are planning meetings with his agent.
There's always a transfer rumour about
somebody.
Oh, there you go. Well, I've just seen, speaking of what I've said about Rudiger, apparently he's honoured by links with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, if you're a German, you're going to want to go to Bayern Munich, aren't you? It's the same as if you're a Italian, you're going to want to play for AC Milan or Juventus. If you're a Spanish guy, you're going to want to play for Real Madrid or Barca. Whereas if you're an Englishman, you're going to want to play for one of the top, arguably the top 6 or whatever, aren't you? You know, there's more.
The argument we keep having that is actually the top 4.
Well, yeah, there's arguably more.
The top 4 plus North London.
There seems to be more.
Plus Brighton at the moment.
What else has been said?
I'd argue if we didn't sign anyone in January, or if we didn't sign anyone next year, if we get Rudiger to sign a new deal, that'd be as good as anything.
I feel like Chelsea, you're one of the clubs that even if you don't make any big dramatic signings, you're still going to be fine.
Oh yeah, signing Lukaku's just put them way ahead of the majority of other teams. It's only eclipsed by Man United re-signing Ronaldo for me. Because as I said, Lukaku's between all the strikers in that league, Lukaku and Ronaldo are the 2 best strikers.
We wouldn't know what it's like to have a reliable striker.
Well, that's because Manchester City are playing probably your best striker out in a wide. You're playing Jesus in wrong positions.
Nobody was moaning when they won back-to-back 5-0 games, and they were going, "We don't need a striker."
Yeah, to be fair, I have been saying we could deal with. We have Torres, but Torres is spending most of his games on the bench now. So, you know, even if we did get a striker, Pep would probably leave him on the bench anyways.
There's a transfer rumour about Donny van der Beek, Everton being interested in signing him. I heard
Didn't he kick off or something?
Yeah,
That he wasn't getting subbed on.
Yeah.
Before him.
It were kicking off. But I've heard that Leeds have been in talks about signing him as well. But with his weight,
that'd be Man United going. We'll give you Donny van der Beek. You give us Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
I was saying to my dad,
going back to Holland.
Yeah, I'll probably go back to Ajax.
I was saying to my dad, Calvin will only happen if it's like a £200 million deal and it'll benefit Leeds financially.
Well, they only said he were worth 26 million last week, didn't they? Where's that come from? How is he worth 26 million pounds? He's arguably England's best centre defensive midfielder.
How is he only worth 26 and Ben White's worth 50 million?
Exactly. And they've both won the same amount of titles anyway.
I said Donny van der Beek is probably. I think he'd probably want one move in England to actually prove he can do it in England.
I think he'd do well.
Get game time in the Premier League.
I could see him doing a short-term loan somewhere else in England and then going elsewhere.
In January, maybe.
He'd do well at a team like Everton, but then you look at Everton's team at the minute where you've got Doucouré, you've got Davis, you've got Arron, players like that. It's going to be hard for him to get in that team.
Oh, he's getting over Tom Davies.
Yeah, every time over Davies for me, he would play.
Tom Davies starts on back anyway, majority of the time. Another transfer rumour.
Tom Davies only played like 13 minutes of football this season.
Frank Kessie from AC Milan, Manchester United are interested in him. He's a top target for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been a good player for AC Milan these last few seasons.
What do we all think of Ole as a manager then?
Ole's at the wheel. Terrible.
He's not doing a very fucking good job with the wheel.
No.
Honestly, I think it's another one like when Sammy Hippier came to Brighton. The reputation as a player gets the fans excited, but then you realise the man's out of his depth.
Yeah, I know.
I think the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a bit more of a reputation than Sammy Hippier.
We were excited by Hippier, I ain't gonna lie. You remember how excited I was over Hippier.
And then it came to hashtag bin the Finn.
Yeah.
And it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going, but it was all about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going back to United after the whole 1999 Champions League final.
I can see somebody like David Beckham like buying shares in that club, or somewhere along the lines, or like Wayne Rooney, or like the contingency of Scholes, Neville, and whoever.
Can they though? If they'll have to sell their stake in Salford to do that.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
Can't currently because he owns the MLS club.
Surely you're not own more than.
No, you have to be able to, because we have our City group. We've got New York City, we've got Man City.
Yeah.
I think
Melbourne?
Melbourne City, yeah, there's one in India.
And then another, we've got 4 or 5. So I think a group can own like teams in different countries.
In different countries, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so I'm saying David Beckham could, because he beat America, yeah.
If he had people with him, yeah.
No, he could do it on his own. He's got enough money. Spice Girls keep coming back. Posh is still getting money.
I think it'd be the first. I think they need to sack him, Ollie.
Same.
The obvious replacement is Antonio Conte. They want him.
Yeah.
This sounds bad, but they can keep him as long as they want, as long as like they're still up under us.
Come the end of the season, I don't think he'll be there.
No.
I think Conte will be in the job before.
He'll get sacked before the end of the season, no doubt. I wonder who the next manager to be sacked in the Premier League is going to be, though. I can see it being.
We're all here. Shall we make a prediction and see who gets it closest then?
Yeah, I think it'll be Daniel Farke.
I don't. Not with him.
Nah, they stuck with him last year when he got relegated. They're like Watford. They're quite happy going up, having a taste of Premier League football, getting relegated and get the parachute payment.
Yeah,
as a business model, it's profitable.
It's a vicious circle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a feeling Brendan's
profit.
not got long left, Damien, as well.
It's a profitable business cycle.
Get pulled on Brendan very soon.
I would say Steve Bruce, but I don't think Mike actually really cares.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Newcastle's ground could literally be on fire and the man wouldn't give a shit.
As long as it doesn't affect his other business, he ain't bothered really.
I'd say Brendan Rodgers is a good shout. I could see. They played quite right one. Yeah, I'd say Ralph Hasenhüttl could walk, let alone because he just doesn't get backed by the Southampton board. The Southampton owners don't want to invest. They don't really want to unless they get money in. So the only reason they invested in Adam Armstrong is because they got the money from Danny Ings.
The only way they're going to do that is if they sell James Ward-Prowse to the likes of Chelsea or somebody like that for a decent amount, which is not going to happen.
He signed a new 5-year deal last.
That's what I mean. So he's got to be worth a fair bit after signing that new 5-year deal.
I think he's the Matt Letizia. He's the Matt Letizia equivalent, isn't he? He's the next Matt Letizia. He won't leave.
He's going nowhere, is he?
No, he'll give up. England, like major trophies and potential more England caps. I'd have taken him to the Euros.
Yeah,
he'd have been in my England squad for his set piece delivery alone.
Jesse Lingard, I'd have taken him to Euros as well because look how good he's playing now.
I think the issue that Jesse Lingard had was he was on form in the last 2 weeks, but he had more players arguably in front of him in the England squad. We had so many good wingers that
he's definitely gone up the pecking order for Manchester United now, hasn't he?
I think the problem with Jesse Lingard this last year has just been he's not had the best time personally. Like
that's media's fault though because he thinks more about posting stupid dance videos on Instagram and TikTok than he does getting down to work on the pitch. I don't understand.
Problems, and I think it's important for us as fans to remember that the footballers are people, first and foremost. They have
social media has been the bane of a footballer's life now. Since the Twitter and Instagram and everything like that's come along and they're all joining up and things, there's quite a lot of them that don't focus as much as they did before all that was a thing. It's like you go back to the 90s and stuff like that, there wasn't a whole lot of controversy within the football world. But now, because of the social media thing, there's a lot more going on.
I'm quite happy.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that as well as the social media side of it, they could have problems in their personal life that we don't know about. And we, as fans and as people that do a podcast, need to remember that they are people first and foremost.
A lot of people just want to know the insides and outs of a footballer's life, don't they?
A lot of people just forget that celebrities are still people.
Yeah, people need to remember that these are people like any of us. But some people take it too far.
I'm quite. I think there's a line in there. I'm quite happy doing it, coming in and giving my opinion of the players. I come in and said Ben Chilwell was woeful, but I'm not going to go in his Insta comments and say he was woeful or go send him an Instagram comment because that's me directing hate towards him.
Yeah.
Whereas here I feel like I'm just expressing my.
We are passing comment here.
Same with what happened with Saka and Rashford and whatnot, missing the penalties, and look at the amount of the abuse that they were getting on social media just because of the colour of their skin and because they missed a penalty.
I mean, there were fans actually chanting on Saturday, Bukayo Saka let the country down.
Yeah.
And I thought that was disgusting.
I think the best chant that I've heard recently is the Leeds United chants about Ronaldo being a sex offender.
And Sigurdsson.
Yeah. What is it? Leeds United are on a bender. Cristiano.
Oh no, we are Leeds. We have Isle Sigurdsson as a paedophile.
That's the thing about Charles, isn't it? Ji-Sung Park came out, didn't he, and said United fans had to stop singing the song about Liverpool fans and Man United fans and the offensive stereotype about Korean people because they were singing it at.
Well,
they were singing about Hwang Hee-chan at Wolves at the weekend.
Leeds used to sing, going back to the 90s and probably early 2000s, Leeds used to sing quite a lot about the Munich air disaster aimed at Manchester United. And then when the incident happened in Turkey in 2000, when we lost 2 of our fans, we kind of thought maybe we should stop singing that kind of thing because we know what it feels like to be hurt now. So that's not been sung for as long as I can remember. but I haven't been to a few games, so I know that when Manchester United were playing Leeds at the beginning of the season, I think we covered some of this on one of the other podcasts where there were United fans showing Turkish flags on the phone and waving them about. So we started singing that song.
It was Leeds-Liverpool, wasn't it?
It happened at
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Well,
yeah.
But we started singing that song, and I think I'm not happy about it, but we started singing at Liverpool about the Hillsborough disaster as well. I think, which it's why lower yourself if somebody's doing something like that towards you. Be the bigger person and don't lower yourself to their standards.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that same bad light that they're putting themselves in. But football seems it's going the right way at the minute.
And we're just sat there with edible coffee cups and our fans calling Ruben Diaz daddy.
Oh God!
Sorry, fans. I thought you had plastic seats.
Sarah's got daddy issues.
I thought you had empty seats.
I'm not calling Ruben Diaz daddy. Just want to put that out there. There's been a few tweets this week,
Exposed.
none of them from me. Anyone on my Twitter knows that, like, I just type Ben White. Like, anyone on my Twitter
So
knows
this is no longer the Ben White birthday episode. This is the Sarah exposed for calling
me exposed. Right, there's a tweet that someone put out about Ruben Diaz. I'm trying to see if I've still got the screenshot. I have 3 holes and they're all for this man. And they're calling him daddy, and I'm like, that is not how we're going to do it.
I was trying to have a brew when you sent me that as well.
Yeah, that's not what we're gonna do. Yeah, not my type, Ruben Diaz, not gonna lie.
No, we all know your type. It's not Osaka.
But no, fans are just, again, that thing of fans needing to respect boundaries.
Exactly, there's banter and there's a line, is that what I always...
Calling Ruben Diaz daddy all over Twitter, isn't it?
There's banter and there's abuse.
Do you remember the England game that was played at Elland Road, where on the camera panned round and it showed the quite fit blonde lass. She's called Emma, and she does the Leeds United TV and everything. LUTV. The amount, like, all she has to do is post a picture of her sat on a train, and there's people asking to see pictures of her feet and stuff like that, and it's like, what are you doing?
I know.
It's unbelievable. The amount of abuse, well, it's not even abuse, but sexual abuse that she gets online is unbelievable. Like, she'll sometimes post on Instagram, people are saying, I'd drag my balls through broken glass just to smell one of your farts from a bottle and stuff like that. And it's like, what? Where do you come up with this?
There are some weird football fans out there. Damien knows who I'm on about.
Yeah, Reese for supporting Arsenal.
Well, this woman does support Arsenal.
Yeah.
You think I'm bad about Ben White?
We're not going to expose the poor person, are we?
No, but you have not. There's also an Instagram account ran about police, like, and I thought it was run by like a teenage girl. It's not. It's run by a man.
What the hell?
And I was like, oh, I thought you were like a teenage girl.
I was just trying to sleep when you sent me that.
Have we moved on to football designers now?
I think so. Just a random talking
That
shit
is the
now.
smoothest transition to a subject I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I was double checking the Instagram account to make sure it wasn't Gregg, and I'm just being really mean here about him. I was like, we're good, it's not Gregg.
I'll cry myself.
I think we should wrap up pretty soon because it's taking a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Belgium might get a trophy. Akev might get a trophy.
No, this is something I don't get.
I don't know about everyone else.
Why are Belgium the #1 ranked team in the world when they've not won a trophy?
Because you get more points for how far you go and...
They didn't really go that far in the Euros, did they? Like France won the
that's
last.
what confused me, but...
France won the last World Cup. I mean, they got knocked out by.
Well, yeah. I don't understand the system. Like, obviously,
Someone comment on this and tell us like how the international ranking system works.
yeah, definitely. We need.
I don't get how we're so high at the world rankings.
What are we, third or fourth?
Well, we're fourth, aren't we?
We was second.
I got drawn into. I was saying to myself at the Euros, I'm not going to get drawn into it because I did at the World Cup, and it was definitely. It definitely hurt in the World Cup, and I'm not going to do it. Obviously, the semi-final.
Greg going, it's coming home.
Yeah, obviously you messaged me after the first game going, oh, it's coming home.
Yeah,
if you actually break down the games we did play, I mean, Croatia, yeah, it was all right. Scotland, we were woeful.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, we were all right, decent.
Average.
Yeah, we're
average.
third in the world ranking.
We were average against Czech Republic. Who did we play in the last 16? It was
Denmark. Germany.
No, it was Germany, right? Germany.
And then Denmark. I was on holiday.
Germany, best game in the tournament we had. We were brilliant.
Yeah.
Then we played Ukraine.
Then we played Ukraine, and they threw in the towel after the second goal went in. Well, we played all right, but Ukraine were shambolic.
Yeah, but we should beat them. No disrespect.
I don't think. I think the whole nation peaked when Luke Shaw scored the goal in the final, and then it would just we were woeful from then.
And then Denmark, we probably didn't deserve to win.
No.
I mean, we shone a laser in the face of Kasper Schmeichel, and it wasn't a penalty.
No.
It was
I'm going to throw this out here now because Sarah knows this story. When Luke Shaw actually scored, I fell out my wheelchair.
What?
Because I jumped up, got overexcited, and I hit the floor.
And by the time we got back in, we lost.
Yeah.
So if you actually break down the game, you only realistically played well against arguably
Germany.
Croatia, Germany. That's about it, right?
Like you saying that you didn't get too invested in Euros because of what had happened in World Cup. I think
I got too invested.
Don't get me wrong. When it came to the semi-final and then come the final, I was all on board. Go for it. But I wasn't trying to join the hype of we're playing sensational football. It was more.
It's the whole thing. As a nation, we expect too much, I think, and it puts far too much pressure on the players and the squad as a whole.
I do agree with you there. I think once we've won a trophy, that will break.
Yeah, it will.
If we could win another trophy, we won't be so desperate to say we're winning a trophy.
It's this Nations League thing. Even if we win that, it'll. I know it don't mean much. Nobody's invested in this Nations League thing, but even if we won that, it'd calm people down just a little bit because we've got a bit of silverware.
Even if they held Six Nations for football, like they do with the rugby, like with France.
Yeah.
Or if they did that for football, even if we won that, we'd be happy.
I think we'd do Belgium the world good if they did win it because they've had this super generation that they haven't actually won it. This is the last. I would argue next year's World Cup is their last chance.
Yeah.
I think the issue with Gareth is, I love Gareth as a person. He's a brilliant man manager, but as an actual tactician, I don't think he's great.
He makes questionable choices.
He got everyone together, the whole team spirit of the team we haven't had before for an England side, but we've played better football before. He got the nation on board. He built a squad, and he got the nation behind the squad. He got the squad gelling really well and playing well together, but the football they actually played wasn't great.
I feel like St. George's was a great atmosphere this summer. Like the team themselves were just.
We rely too much as an England squad. We rely too much on getting the ball to Harry Kane, and the majority of the time his final product isn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let's say Sterling's one of those that doesn't play well for City, and then he's like he rewards Gareth's. I was there going. I wouldn't have taken him he wouldn't have been in my squad.
I have very, very loud opinions about Sterling.
But he rewards Gareth's faith.
Yeah,
it's like he's done with Sancho. He was asked in a press conference, "Do you think Sancho deserved over the last few weeks? Do you think he's deserved a call up?" And he went, "Probably not. But we feel as a coaching staff we've invested a lot in him and we believe in him as a player that we're going to take him anyway because we know he has ability."
Yeah,
he stuck by Sterling, and Sterling rewarded him.
I think given the next two tournaments, the World Cup and maybe Euros after that, the team that we've got now, there'll obviously be a couple more younger call-ups that might progress through. But I think as a team, we could go on and win something. I mean,
By the next Euros, I feel like our team could be very different.
we've already shown that we can play together and that we are a good team on this day, albeit with some odd decisions to help us along the way sometimes. But I think as a collective, as a team, I think come the next Euros, there is a possibility that we may do something. But
Hendo's probably not going to be. I will be very shocked if Hendo and Kyle Walker are there for the next Euros.
I can see Stones not being there.
I can't. Right, this sounds like I love John Stones, Damien. Like, but I can't see Stones, Walker, or Hendo being there, and even maybe Kane, depending how he gets on.
I'm questioning Maguire too.
Yeah, Maguire.
Oh, yeah, they are quite. You know, how old? Maguire's
How old is
20.
Maguire?
I know Stones is 27. Stones is 27. Kyle Walker's 32, and I think Hendo's 32.
Right,
Yeah,
so
or 30.
Like, Kyle Walker won't be there.
I think
Maguire's 28, so he'd be what, 32?
32. That would be his last tournament, if anything, I reckon.
Yeah, I think
the next
Maguire would still
Euros.
go. I think Stones at 27 probably still, if he's still playing at the level, obviously. But at 31, he's definitely within the realms of still going.
I think with Maguire,
it could be the backup ones then, and maybe someone's
Why?
come ahead to concede them.
And Kane, arguably, it would be Kane's last tournament, but at 32.
I wouldn't even take him. Not to Euros, obviously to World Cup, but I wouldn't take him to Euros because I think
We don't know how he's going to be playing in the next 2 years, do we? Like,
there's so many decent young English strikers that are coming through now that are proving that they can bag the goals for the club. And
the next Euros, I hope it's Patrick Bamford's time to shine.
you see, even him, I think he's going to be a little bit too old. What's he now? 28, 27?
Is he?
I thought it was about 26.
I thought the man was like 24, 25.
No, he's been around a lot longer than you think.
He
Definitely has. Are you painting nails right now?
He's 28.
No, his eyeliner, I'm really, like, I can't sit still.
He's
Are you
28.
painting nails?
Bamford.
No.
Patrick Bamford, I think he'd have got a call up to this England squad had he not been injured.
Yeah.
How many he's actually scored this season?
What, for us?
Yeah.
I want to say 2, maybe 1. So he's
Better
not.
than Stones' record.
It's not too deserving of being
It's
called.
better-
But
it's-
it's the work rate that he puts in.
Did you just say it's better than Stones' record?
This season, the man's not played a fucking Premier League game once this season.
Yeah, but he's a centre back. Of course, he's not going to score more goals than Bamford.
I mean, I'd like to have played a game this season.
He'll come good. He'll be all right soon. I
The
think.
England team might not keep injuring him.
Well, who won it the other week? That it was Wayne Rooney won it. That injured one of his own players in training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute idiot. Can't stand the guy. Although he has got a new card on FIFA this season,
Yeah.
an icon card.
Has Patrick Bamford scored this season?
I thought he'd scored 1. He might not have even scored.
He's not scored this season, Bamford.
Wow. I think Rafinha's his top goal scorer.
Yeah, Rafinha's got 3.
Diego
Um,
Llorente.
Luke Ayling's got 1.
Yeah.
Click's got 1.
Llorente's got 1.
Llorente's got 1. Yeah, so it's Rafinha, Click, Ayling, and Llorente.
It's not good, is it?
I really
But
think
we've
Tommy
got no
Doyle
squad.
could be a
We've got no
star.
squad.
Tommy Doyle. I heard Tommy Doyle and got distracted. Yes.
He could be a future England star.
Not 100 and Cole Palmer.
Yeah, 100%.
Dane Scarlett, he's a pretty good player.
Liam Delap.
I think, is it
Yeah.
Cresswell, your guy? Cresswell?
Yeah, Creswell, he's played all.
Cresswell, Doyle, Delap, and
Trevor
Palmer.
Chalobah. I'm throwing Trevor Chalobah in there. Scored again at the weekend.
Joe
Mark
Gallagher.
my words, Hayden Roberts at Brighton.
Oh yeah, Conor Gallagher. There you
Am I-
go. If we sell Kante, Conor Gallagher comes back in. Conor Gallagher's an
Why
absolute-
is Demarai Gray not being called up to England squad? Because he started this season absolutely on fire. Or has he changed his allegiance to Jamaica or
I
something?
don't know, but Southgate.
Yeah, he's
Southgate,
Jamaican.
I was gonna say Southgate has his favourites, anyways.
Yeah, he does.
I know if he can forgive Phil Foden for the Icelandic incident, he can forgive Mason Green. I think Mason Greenwood's arguably deserved an England call up in the last.
I
this season.
think it's more like apparently United didn't want them to
Why?
go. don't know.
Well, if you're going to let Sancho go, you might let Mason Greenwood go.
That's the thing. Sancho's done nothing. What's he done this season?
Yeah.
He's done the same amount as. Well, no, he hasn't even done the same amount as Rafinha, has he? Because he's not scored.
You'd argue he's doing the same. He's done the same amount that Sterling did in that period last season, where Gareth stuck by him.
Yeah.
Which is why I said when he said in the press conference, has he done enough to be called out? Gareth admitted he went, probably not. But with
Sancho, though, I think the expectation and the hype of him, that proceeds over the fact that he's probably just another average wide midfielder in the Premier League. But it's because he's young that people are going to say, right, well, yeah, he deserves to be there, or no, he doesn't deserve to be there. Because I don't think his top qualities. At Dortmund last season and the season before, he proved that he was good, but he's not done anything this season to prove to me that he's good enough.
We're naming all these youngsters. We're going to beat around the bush and say Jude Bellingham.
I love Bellingham.
Because he's only 18. He's only 18. He'll be 22 at the next Euros.
What about his brother though? His brother's kicking up for Birmingham.
Everyone's now going, oh, but we all laughed at Birmingham for retiring his shirt. I still think that was stupid.
Yeah.
So you were saying earlier about Erling Haaland. I was trying to say he's got a cousin in Mulder that's got the exact same. He scored like 50 something in 60 games for their under.
I've heard that his cousin's meant to be getting a big money move next year.
He's got a cousin that's like exactly the same. Like
it looks like him as well.
Like they just built just came out the robot factory. There's Erling Haaland, there's his cousin.
But no, going back to the UEFA, FIFA, whatever it is, standings. Belgium, Brazil, England, France, Italy are the top 5.
How are we above Italy, who won the Euros?
Then we've got Argentina, Portugal, Spain, Mexico, and Denmark.
Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico, they're 9th. Are we above Portugal? Are we above France? Are we above Italy?
What? I need to figure out who makes these rulings and standings, because that's ridiculous. Argentina have just won the cup. And yet we've not won it. We've not won it.
How are we above Italy?
Yeah, somebody watching probably knows. Like, please comment how the fuck the world rankings are like.
When this goes out on Friday, I'm going to tweet it and ask people to tell us, because it's a bit stupid.
Because we're all very confused.
No, you're going to mug us off. You're going to find out between now and Friday. And go, actually,
yeah,
I'm the one that now knows.
Post it in the group chat, quick.
Look, FIFA, UEFA, whoever I'm on the phone to.
We are not above Italy. They've just beaten us in the Euro.
Yeah.
How are they 5th?
I'm confused.
You can't say it's done on results either. Because what are they like? Unbeaten in 35 games, and they're 5th in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
It's weird. We'll figure it out. We'll announce it at the next episode.
Yeah. That's first on the agenda for next week.
But yeah, no, we're ready to wrap up.
Yep.
Good.
We're ready to wrap
Ben
up.
White, you've had a lovely birthday. We talked about some really weird stuff.
Yeah, I hope Ben White's had a great birthday when everyone's watching this. Although people will be watching it.
I hope you lose at the weekend, Ben.
Yeah.
People will be like watching it after his birthday and just get very confused by we're wishing happy birthday to Ben.
Well, I think you've made it pretty obvious it's his birthday on the Friday.
So Friday, when this drops, like when we are planning for this to drop, it is his birthday. We hope he's had a great birthday. No.
What about for all my American friends though that are like, who the hell's Ben White?
We'll link who Ben White is below.
The thing is, no, you'll drop it on Friday, but they'll be going like in the Eastern time zone. It's Thursday. In the Western time zone, it's Thursday.
So the 8th of October, whenever you're watching, the 8th of October is Ben White's birthday.
So we started the episode by saying it's his birthday and ended the episode by saying it's his birthday.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, thanks for joining us for another serving of Penal-Tea Time, and we'll see you next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.